Hello, 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 and welcome to another Paul or Nothing spin-off episode of Macca in Your Attic, where we sift through the tit and the tat and find the primo Macca memorabilia. Basically, the premise, if you haven't guessed already, we're going to go back through one of my guests' attics and look at 5 fun, interesting, rare, infamous, weird, or special items in the McCartney collection they have accumulated. Fortunately, this format requires the guest to be a lot more interesting than me, so I get to sit back and enjoy this along with you. For today, for our second episode, I'm joined by one of the best friends I've made throughout my time in the Beatles podcasting world. We speak very frequently on a very private, very exclusive Facebook group where, you guessed it, we just chat Beatles all the time, and I have learned so much. We have had so many laughs together. He is the host of the Andrew Brookes YouTube channel, and as you may have guessed from that piece of information, his name is Andrew Brookes. Dude, what's going on? Welcome to Macca in the Attic.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Sam. It was a bit short notice, but hey, we're there.
No, this is something I've wanted to do for a while, and you were one of the very first people I thought of when I thought of this format, purely because, as we can see right now, you have one of the, go-to YouTube backgrounds, which is just your McCartney collection. It is always so. Is that the new stamp collection I can see behind you there?
Yes,
oh my!
Yes, that is the new stamps. That's the Macca bundle.
Wow. I'm guessing that's not one of your 5 items for today, though.
No. They only came the other day. I've been waiting weeks for them, but yeah, they're here. They're great. They're nice and big.
Fantastic. No, I think if I'd have splashed out on that stuff, I may have been a bit more wowed by the stamp stuff, but my tiny little collection was a bit limp, I guess. Now, when did you start collecting Beatles stuff? How early into your fandom did you get the bug?
Right. Well, I'm very old. So when I was 10, so in 1976, I got from the library, because you could rent records from the library.
Wow.
Where I lived in Walthamstow. So I got Abbey Road purely because I looked at the back cover and I thought, Octopus's Garden, me Mr. Maxwell Silverhammer, weird. So I got it and instantly love it. And so from then, that sort of got me hooked on the Beatles. So I probably started buying records for my own probably a year later, maybe. Wow. Not even that. My first record was a Blue Album, just purely because it was like a greatest hits, and a Sgt. Pepper, because I wasn't sure if it was the Beatles or not, because it was like Sgt. Pepper, but I was assured that it was the Beatles, so I went and bought it. So yeah, and then from then, well, as you can see, it's gone nuts.
McCartney would be so happy to hear that you were confused whether Sgt. Pepper was the Beatles or not. Oh, well, the concept worked, yeah, I guess, Oh, that's fantastic. But what was it like collecting pre-internet?
Oh, man, back in the 70s, no one liked the Beatles. And even into the 80s, no one liked the Beatles. So everything was like really cheap. Okay, probably I wasn't that knowledgeable to know about buying original 60s stuff, but yeah, you could pick up singles and old singles, high, which was only released a few years earlier, and it'd be like 10p, that sort of it. Just
my gosh,
just
that's
little
insane.
things like that. So yeah, 70s and 80s, the Beatles stuff was really cheap. And then obviously, John died in 80, and that sort of started the little ball rolling of things getting a little bit more collectible, a little bit more pricey. My first record I ever bought on day of release was Tug of War. Yeah, so yeah, that holds a special little in my heart, so yeah, Tug of War. I can remember going and buying all those years ago and going into the record shop in Hymes Park going, have you got the new Beatles single? And the guy looked at me and he goes, no, but we've got the new George Harrison one.
Oh, wow. He was rolling his eyes, wasn't he?
I'd heard that Paul and Ringo were on it, so I just assumed it was it would be a Beatles single. But there you go. So yeah,
I like your optimism. I really do. I understand you've had to get rid of your collection at least one time or another.
Yeah, must be about 10 years ago. I decided that I had a lot of stuff, and for one reason or another, I just sort of think, right, I need to streamline this a little bit. So how I worked it out was, I want to keep all the music, because it was the music that that got me in the first place. So I kept all my records, I kept all my CDs, and I kept video DVDs. But all the magazines, the books, the posters, and a lot of stuff that I'd acquired from MPL, from Apple. I wasn't a big collector of Apple stuff back then. I wish I'd have kept it now, because I let it go, and I'm never going to get it back. So unfortunately, I've had to draw a line under that and just accept my fate as that I'm never going to get that back. But that still doesn't stop me now collecting stuff that I'm excited about. So if I do happen to see an original Apple thing, I'll go and buy it and think, oh, I wish I hadn't have sold all those other things. And then I'm back in the real world. So yeah, unfortunately, about 11 years ago, I had a massive clear out. On the plus side, it paid a third off the mortgage. But there we go. That's another story.
Wow, a third off. That must have been a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, it was. It was a fun day. So.
What is the most you've ever spent on a single item? Either Macca, Beatles.
See, I'm a bit of a cheapskate. So if I can get stuff,
same, yeah.
If I can get stuff cheap, why would I buy expensive? No, I mean, there are things that you just have to think, well, if I don't buy it now, I'm never going to get it. So things like George Harrison's Songs of George, the Genesis books, the gold leaf, leather bound. I've got one of each of those volumes, and they were what, 200 quid each, I think, at the time, something like that. And I've got the Ringo one as well from Genesis, and they're all signed, and that's the beauty of those, that at least you're going to get a genuine signature. So you've got those. I'm just looking around for inspiration. Yeah, they're probably like up there with the most I've ever spent on a single item. I'm sure there must be something that I've neglected in a box up on the shop on the top there. There are a few things I've regretted not buying that I was offered. I was offered, get this, when the Beatles were on Morecambe and White, and they had like stripy blazers and the boaters, I got offered Ringo's stripy blazer for 50 quid.
50? Why not? Why not?
At the time, I was worried, like, is it nicked? Is it stolen? Obviously, it must have been, because it's come from a TV studio or whatever, and yeah, that was a regret.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
But then I've got stuff which cost me practically nothing, and and they're worth quite a lot of money. So swing roundabouts, and as I say, you can't regret things, and and you can't. I try not to worry about things that I can't change. So that's now gone. I can't change it, so why worry about it? It comes in your mind a little bit, but
What's the use of worrying? What's the use of hurrying? Exactly. I mean, do you have a good example of a really good deal you've got on an item you caught your eye on?
Well, that is going to be one of my 5. So.
Oh well, let's start off with that one. Please show me your first item today, Andrew.
I'm just going to disappear out of shots because they're on the floor next to me. So bear with me.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. Don't know if you can see that.
Let's have a look.
So it is literally a white label single. And on the white label is written, and I believe it must be in Paul's handwriting, because when it's written, the word Paul is written in the top there. I'll try and see.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, it looks very much like Paul. And it says Paul proposed single. So it's a white label test pressing of a single that never came out. And it is Love is Strange, which obviously then came out on the...
You've got one of the Love is Strange pressings. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
that's... Oh.
And there is a story, a really sad story attached to this, if you want me to enlighten you.
Go on.
Okay. I was obviously collecting records. You get friendly with record shop owners, and there was one that was a particular Beatles fan as well. And I probably used to pop in his shop, probably every week, every Saturday when I was, in my teens, pop down and see if there's anything new. And one day he says, I've got something here. In fact, he had 2 things. He had John Lennon, Woman is the End of the World, as well. as a white label test press, and obviously that never came out in the UK as a single. So he had both of these at the same time. And he said the story is one of the Apple scruffs was outside Apple, and with a friend of hers, and Paul came out, saw them, went back in, and brought out one of them and The Woman Is the End of the World single, one each, and gave them a pair each. And the guy Jeff, who unfortunately is no longer with us, he knew this girl, and she died. Yeah, and her mum gave all her records to the other girl that was waiting at, for Paul. And then a few years ago, this other girl decided to sell up all her records, all her collection or whatever, and she sold them, the whole lot, to my mate Jeff. And so that's how there were two. That's how I know there are at least 2 copies of Love Is Strange and 2 copies of the John one, and I know the person who has got the other 2.
Okay.
Another friend of mine, Peter, and yeah, and he sold them to me very, very reasonably priced. I think, yeah, probably, I don't know, 100 quid for the pair.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now. That'd be a steal now. It really would.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked in Record Collector, price guide and all that, just as an insurance figure for anything better. And the John Lennon one, I think, is valued at like 10 grand. The Paul hasn't even got a value on it. It's listed, no value, because obviously this was never even issued as a single in the States. So
it's like Tutankhamun's mask. It is invaluable. It is invaluable.
Yeah. And if it ever gets destroyed, I'm never going to get it replaced. And how do you sell an insurance company? Oh yeah, that record's worth 10 grand. So yeah,
have you played it?
Yeah, of course I have. I'll play all my records. What's the point of having records unless I've got duplicates and I just keep one sealed? But yeah, of course I have. I initially played it to see if there's any difference, and there is a slight, because obviously it came out on the Red Rose Speedway, Wildlife. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out on that, and obviously there is the slight variation. But yeah, that's an original one. I mean, another example I got from Jeff was I got a white label test pressing of Strawberry Fields Penny Lane. And that's on a proper acetate. This is a white label test press, and this is a proper acetate.
Oh wow!
And I've played it once purely because it ruins your needle if you keep playing it, and also ruins the disc as well. But I thought I've got to play it just to see if it's a different mix or if it's got the little trumpet bit at the end or whatever. And it didn't. It was exactly the same as the single. So I'm like, I'm never playing that one again.
Good. No, so, I've got a couple of copies of McCartney 3. And one was bought for me at Christmas on the proviso that I would never play it. It was my blue one. Like the moment they left the room,
it went on.
Yeah, and then Find My Way cracked on, and then perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so that's number 1 anyway.
That's already. I'm jealous. Already, I am, because that is you can't calculate how rare that is.
No.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, to continue with sort of the story of me collecting, in the 80s I was a telephone engineer. That was my profession, and I used to work just around the corner from Soho Square.
Yes.
And as you know, the stories I've told you many a time, I figured, hang on a minute, I've got an hour at lunchtime. I could just sort of have a little walk around the corner and hang out. And I was the only person hanging out. And then I've been there a couple of weeks. And then one Friday, this gentleman walks past me, didn't recognize him. And he went in, he was just about to go into MPL. And I realized all of a sudden, hang on a minute, that's Paul.
Yeah. Oh God, get him quick.
I'm like, Paul, can you? So my second item, if you're ready for it.
Here we go. Oh God, I'm not ready, but.
Okay, so this is a photo of my first ever meeting with the man.
Oh my gosh, that is, oh wow. It's him. It's there. Oh my God.
And there's a funny story attached to that, because I got him to sign and Ebony and Ivory. You know where he's leaning against the big piano keyboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got him to sign that. Unfortunately, that has since been stolen, and I no longer have that autograph, which is a real shame. But this was on a Friday, so I mentioned to my mate Rob, and he says, "Oh, I don't suppose you could get me an autograph?" I said, "Yeah, I'll try if I see him again." So, funny enough, he gave me exactly the same postcard to get signed. And a week went by, and the next Friday, I'm stood outside, and Paul was literally wearing the same coat because it was winter time, it was December. And again, I stopped him as he was going in, and I said, "Paul, could you sign this?" And he looked at it, and he looked at me, and he was like he must have been having some sort of deja vu moment. He's like, "I've done this before last week." No. And so, yeah. So, yeah, that was my first meeting, the 10th of December, 1984 in Soho Square.
Which also inspired Paul to write, "Have we been somewhere before?" Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
However, moving on from that, and this isn't another, this is still linked to the same. This binder here, which is, as you can see, is full. These are all my photos from meetings with Paul.
Oh, my
not
gosh.
all of them, Paul. There's George in there, there's Ringo. And so there's like one from Leicester Square when he was going in.
This is an orgy of evidence here. This is insane. Oh,
yeah, I mean, yeah, I've got whole 12th of, when was that? 12th of June 86. There's another, like, you know, they're all labeled, so unfortunately you really can't see.
Oh my gosh! And they're all photos of you. Oh my!
Or at the time of me meeting, yeah. So I'll see if there's any open. I'll show you what. Yeah, there you go. This is so this is when I saw him live in Rotterdam at the Ahoy. So.
He's wearing the awful yellow shirt. Fantastic.
Another one. So they're all labelled. They're all dated.
Fantastic.
Yeah, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of all the times I met him, and all the times I didn't meet him. I met him where I didn't have a camera. So they're locked up here now.
And Andrew, that's a book right there. Come on, that's a book. Come on.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make that happen. That'd be a very fun little histography. You know, maybe we'll get it incorporated into the lyric book / autobiography that's coming out soon.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of stories, and I've bored you with all them before, but it's that is, as you say, that is my sort of history from sort of 84, because I saw him just before Broad Street launched. And actually, I got tickets from Liberty Store to go to the preview. If you bought something, they gave you a pair of tickets to the preview of Give My Regards to Broad Street. So I went in there and bought something for a couple of quid, and they gave you a little envelope, and there was 2 tickets for Broad Street. And then the next day was the premiere, and I got tickets to that as well. So I actually saw Give My Regards to Broad Street twice in 2 days, and once with Paul. Who made a really funny comment at the end of the premiere, because he was like, at the end when he's, "We found the tapes," and then he shouts from the back, "Oh, thank God for that," because he must have seen that film countless times.
You must be able to cut the tension with a knife in that room.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So
I'm sure it was. Yeah. I believe you. I do.
So number 2 is my first ever meeting with Paul, photo with all my other photos.
Yeah, / that serial killer binder you have there. That is my word. I need to just have half an hour later where I just go through that.
I'll tell you what, Sam, when all this COVID nonsense is over and we meet up for real, then I'll let you have a look through all the pictures and stuff.
Yeah, and then I'll run off with them like the tapes, and they'll glow, and the binder will glow blue.
They'll glow. Don't worry, they'll glow.
Yeah. It's like,
blue one.
Sorry, dude, I just fell asleep in a train station. That's all it was. In third place, what do we have?
Okay, third place, linked to these photos.
Bop link, be what you see link, yeah. I
decided to show you my autographs.
Oh my! With love, Linda McCartney and Paul as well.
That's it. I mean, that's a great picture to have signed because it's obviously got white at the top and the bottom.
And it's a great single as well. Oh my gosh.
Not Press. My Brave Face. I mean,
My Brave Face. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Here's a Linda one, Seaside Woman, that is signed.
She'd be excited to see that. She'd be excited to see that. Oh, that's so cool.
And she's actually signed it to Andy, love Linda, and then in brackets Susie. So because Susie and the Red Stripes.
Yes, yeah.
And then final one.
Another one. This is getting out of hand now.
Spies Like Us. As I say, unfortunately, I have had, let me think, 2 Paul signatures gone, and a Ringo have gone. Unfortunately, I had my original autograph from that first ever meeting. I managed to sneak into the BBC to see Saturday Superstore or something like that, and while I was waiting around in the lobby, there was a newspaper, I think it was the Times, and there was a big photo of him in the Times, and I kept the paper, and then when I saw him as he was coming out, he signed that for me as well. So but unfortunately they're gone, and I can't get them back, and
that's so upsetting. That's so upsetting. There are so many sad stories here today with you, Andy. No, if anyone out there has that ebony and ivory signed postcard, do get in touch with the show, please do.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I don't think the newspaper one was actually stolen. I think that might have been an error in my part when I sold a whole stack of old 70s NMEs, and I have a feeling it was in amongst that lot, and so someone struck it lucky.
No, what a big stack of enemies would keep that nice and flat. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening, and then the mad panic when you then can't find it. My gosh, no. I had a loss once when I moved from house to house. I ended up losing "Let It Be Naked" on vinyl and my American pressing of "Rubber Soul" as well.
Oh,
yeah.
"Let It Be Naked" is.
You feel wounds like that because it's not cheap anymore. "Let It Be Naked." It's never been reprinted. Probably never will be. And especially with the other "Let It Be" stuff coming out now, it'll just supersede it.
It will just disappear, never to be released again.
It's funny though, because I remember a girlfriend I had years ago when I was like 18. I got her dad "Let It Be Naked" on CD, and then his car got broken into and the CD was stolen. So
you're destined never to have that album.
Yeah, no, it's a cursed album. It really is. It really is.
Wow.
Okay, come on. Steve, please stop making me jealous with all these. Actually, you do all of those little signatures have an associated photo as well?
Probably somewhere, but I couldn't. I know that one was certainly the ebony and ivory one.
That's
to be honest, I'd have to sort of like try and figure out when I saw him on what day and when the single came out, and because I was seeing him so regularly in the 80s, it sort of trying to figure out what day that actually was signed was.
I want this homework to be done. I need this histography to be fully catalogued. Come on.
Well, let's hope the dog doesn't eat the homework.
Oh gosh, and I would love you to mount the photo and the ebony and ivory signature in a nice frame. That'd be gorgeous. That would.
Yeah. Right. Moving on.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Okay.
What do we got?
Well, this isn't the main part of it, but this is a little.
There are parts of it. That's funny.
Yeah. This is like a little ancillary sort of thing. Sorry, I'm just opening a wrapper here. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
That. So
we've lost many listeners now.
Yeah, sorry. So here we have a whole selection of tour merchandise.
Ooh.
So there's like programs. There's the little ticket holder that the tickets came in, and stuff like that. So there's a variety of tickets. This is the last show I ever saw of Paul at Hyde Park.
2010.
Yeah, like a little wristband there for getting into Abbey Road for when he was doing Chaos and Creation in Abbey Road. Bear with me. Yeah, just all sorts of tickets and stuff. And the reason I'm showing you this because there's a bloody Holly ticket down there.
Oh, awesome.
And a nice MPL envelope to keep them all in. So so while I was going to see lots and lots of shows, I saw him twice at the Mean Fiddler in London, which is a small club, 100 or 200 people maybe. And I saw him once for his the rock and roll stuff, that sort of era, the chobber sort of era. And then later, I think it might have been the year later, ITV, which is a UK TV channel, it got not scrapped, but they got taken over by companies. So it was Carlton was the TV company that took over ITV. It was still called ITV, but it was called Carlton Television.
I remember.
So,
yeah. So
to launch it on New Year's Eve, they had a concert at the Hard Rock, not the Hard Rock. Oh gosh, you got me again. Mean Fiddler.
I've just found it on YouTube. Yeah, it was Friday the 20th of November 1992.
There you go.
Fantastic.
So again, why wouldn't I? I managed to get in.
Of course.
Of course.
I didn't doubt you for a second.
And I managed to get quite near the front, first row. It annoyed the hell out of the cameraman because obviously me being 6'3" and a bit, my head kept getting in the shot. I got abused by Chris Tarrant for being so tall. There's always one, he says. But I wasn't going to move. I wasn't going to move out of the way. Hey, they'd have to work around me. And so I stayed where I was. And and obviously seeing Paul so regularly, he recognises you after a while. You might not remember my name, but he's like, oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. How you doing? And all this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then
we're
getting towards the end of the show, and I says to him, "Give us your pick." So he says, I'll give it to you at the end of the show. So I couldn't believe it. He actually remembered because once they'd finished all the filming and stuff, he sought me out and he handed me.
Oh God! Oh,
that's his guitar pick. He gave me a spare, which has got the Flaming Pie logo on it. And Hamish. Oh,
that's insane! Oh my gosh!
So that is
wow.
McCartney's pick that he played at the Carlton New Year TV show. That's Hamish's, and that's a spare he had. And I've got it on the back. There we are.
That's ridiculous. That
Carlton
is
New Year, Mean Fiddler, 9th of November '92. There we go.
I'll post a link to that show down below. Maybe we can spot your head.
See the back of my head.
There's always one, isn't there? There's always one.
I had more hair then, though.
It'd be funny if Chris Tarrant had the pick. Is like, here's Paul McCartney's pick. Oh, but we don't want to give you that. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was a good show, and I had seen him lots and lots in concert, and I do prefer the small venues. I saw him at the Playhouse Theatre when he was launching, when he was relaunching his touring career. I've seen him at the Cavern. The smaller the gig, the better they are, in my opinion.
This whole show is just going to be about envy for me. I think me just having to sit here and take the fact that oh my gosh.
But to be fair,
speechless.
Stan,
I really am.
Was you around in '89? 92.
In my parents' minds, maybe.
There you are. So, it is what it is.
A McCartney pick. Oh.
Yeah. I missed out on Wings. I was too young to see Wings. So that's my regret.
Oh well, we are together in that struggle.
Yeah.
It's real. It's an ongoing one. Every day. I really hope we get one more tour. Just one more. Come on.
Yeah, I just find them so expensive now. I mean,
prohibitively so. Yeah.
When I saw him at the Mean Fiddler, not the Carlton one, but the one where you had to buy a ticket for £10.
£10? No way.
St. Paul in a small gig, in a small club.
That's an hour's work.
So there we are.
Gosh.
But so that's my number 4.
And rounding us out, number 5. Okay. What's your final item?
I did miss out on Wings. So I did have to include a little wing something, which, you know, it's a little bit of, I wish I'd have gone to see at least one of the wing shows. Bear with me while I disappear.
What could it? Oh, it's not going to be the red, white, and blue out. Oh! I think I've seen this. Yeah, this is incredible. This is, folks. Get ready.
This is the fresh kit for Back to the Egg, and as you can see, it's in a nice box. It almost looks like a deluxe edition, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's packed full of stuff as well. It's
okay. Here we go. I'm lifting the lid now as we speak. So taking out the CD that I put in, that's my original CD, because obviously it wouldn't have come with a CD. So unfortunately, I don't have the picture disc that goes with it. So it did come with a picture disc. And if anyone's got even a bootleg copy, I'm interested. You know, I used to see them all the time for like 15 quid at record fairs, and now I can't find one.
Is that a Good Night Tonight picture disc or the Back to the Egg full album?
Yeah, full album. Yeah.
I've seen a few Good Night Tonight's picture discs splashed around here and there, but yeah, so I'll keep an eye out for that too.
We had a nice T-shirt. Maybe I should have worn that today.
Yeah, no, we did say off camera that we are literally wearing the same outfit. You know, how embarrassing, you know.
There we are.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
Look on the back.
Oh my God. Someone make that on Etsy, please. I will buy it, you know. Jeffrey Giuliano's got T-shirts on there. Someone can make that.
I'm guessing red. I mean, my Latin is dreadful. Redite ad ovum.
Redite ad ovum. What the heck? Okay, I'm literally going to type that.
To the egg.
Oh! It's in Latin. It's in Latin. That's very Python-esque. That's funny. I like that.
Yeah. Write it out 100 times. Romans go to the house.
Yeah. But Back to the Egg is an order. Yeah.
What else have we got in here then? So we have some little sort of badges, pin badges. Pin badges.
Oh, they're adorable. They're adorable.
We have like a Back to the Egg key ring.
That's cool. That's cool.
I put this in. It doesn't belong there, but it's a Japanese tour program from the failed Japanese tour. So I did put that in there. What else have we got in here? We have
the stuff that's not meant to be in there is also fantastic as well.
So this is like a little sort of blurb, little press release for Back to the Egg, which is my favourite Wings album, as you know.
Yeah.
What else have we got in here? We have the that's the picture, and on the back we have all the lyrics.
Awesome.
The whole album. So it's like a little lyric sheet there. What else have we got in here? I believe there are some little postcards which I have got somewhere, but I didn't have them in this. I must have got them separately. But there is a nice Back to the Egg postcard. Wings on the back. There we are. So that's a nice postcard.
Just as a little request to all people who kind of make merchandise, could you include 2 copies of each postcard? Because I'd like to send one to someone and then keep one for posterity, you know. But
and I just found the missing cards. They're like remember the old cigarette cards that you in those sweet cigarettes. You used to get like a little. So you've got one of Steve Holly there, and there's a little bit of writing about him on the back.
His stats, yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's obviously Paul's and similar. Linda.
Yeah, these were the photos off the back of the album, aren't they? Yeah.
Penny Lane, and then obviously Lawrence there. Interesting story about Lawrence. Okay.
Of course.
A friend of mine, Lee. I've known him for, I don't know, it must be nearly 20 odd years. And he says, I know a guy who used to play in Wings. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, he's got a really weird name. I'm like running through the Wings. I said, what, like Lawrence Dewberry? He goes, that's him. I house shared with him, literally, as he then got accepted into Wings. When Paul made him the offer, he was sharing a house with my mate Lee. And I've since contacted Lawrence, and he doesn't remember it. But anyway,
yeah, Lawrence's life changed a little bit after that point, I guess.
If you want a little fried egg sticker, there we go. Go back to the egg slicker. And last but not least, you know your request about putting 2 of everything in.
Oh,
How about 2
plastic bags?
plastic bags? Very un-eco-friendly these days. But back in 79, you know, hey, anything went.
Oh, oh, that's so funny. And also real meat to go with your eggs,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, some bacon.
Yeah, that's the. So that is my 5th and final item. This is a bit like Desert Island Discs, isn't it?
Literally,
thing, you know?
yeah. Oh my gosh, no! You need
So,
to, in the way, like in some parts of Italy, in vaults they'll keep real rare cheeses. Like you need to
yeah.
have a vault just for that back to the egg press kit. That.
So yeah, I'm missing the picture disc, and if I can just, even if it's a pirate copy, I'll be happy to pick it up and stick it in there.
Have you got a fire extinguisher and fire alarms in your house? I need to know that this is all safe. I need to know.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, you know, what am I going to grab?
Exactly.
The fire's going, the alarm's ringing, you know, and I mean, you know, some of the other stuff that I haven't showed here, I'll probably go grab that, I should think.
For me, it would always be the Mac. The podcast is more valuable than any of Paul's music, of course. But fortunately, all of my vinyl is still to this day really all in one little box still. So
okay,
I could try and pop one on the other and try and leap over a burning timber, you know.
Yeah, I think I might have a bit of difficulty in sort of, you know, rescuing the vinyl. Yeah, that's 5 shelves worth, plus some singles boxes, plus the CDs, which you can't see, plus what's over here as well.
Say if like a super volcano went off in the middle of the UK, and you have those like people outside of Mount Vesuvius that are freezed in their last moments. Mine would be crouched over my Paul vinyl collection, like no, frozen forever in time.
Holding my signature up, so the signature's out of the lava.
Yeah, like Terminator 2 as the thumb just sinks slowly like that. And on that note, folks, I think we have seen enough tit and tat and wonderful items today. Those titles are only in the most joking manner. I assure you, fuck me, they are sort of extremely valuable items you've shown me. They're both sentimentally to the fan base and literally as well. A nice spread there indeed.
Thank you.
The Love is Strange one is still festering in my mind. I'm really upset that I don't have that, and I'll never be able to have that. I'm sure the only way I can think about it is like, you know, like Han Solo winning the Millennium Falcon from Lando in a game of poker, something like that, you know.
I'm not very good at poker, so that won't be the stakes, I can tell you.
Good. I'm trying to think of a poker Paul McCartney pun now. Royal Flush.
Well, there is the Junior's Farm, you know, where they're all around like a poker table. There's Denny with the dealer's little teeth on, and Paul dressed as an Eskimo or something. And
it's got nothing to do with a farm. Yeah, it's like, you know what? In terms of Paul McCartney's single cover shoot ideas, you would have thought they literally would have just had a shot of them on Junior's farm, and yet they go through that classic McCartney expense. You know, no, just got all these costumes and a set, and you know. Right, Andrew, thank you so much for joining me on Macca in your attic.
Anytime. Yeah. I'm sure there's more stuff, but you know.
Oh yeah. If there's ever a point where this show is going to do double dips, I'm sure you'll be able to rustle up another 5. Yeah.
If I just tilt my camera slightly, you see the big crate on the sort of right hand side. Is it the right hand side? Whatever.
Our right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's where there's more stuff.
Level 2, folks. You know, this is the first level of Scientology, and then you have to do all of your tests, and then you get your thetans up, and then you ascend to level 2, and you know, I'm sure there's going to be.
I was going to wear a baseball cap like yours. I've got yellow submarine ones knocking around somewhere. I was going to wear that.
Fantastic. Everyone, if you can somehow acquire a white or blue McCartney 3 hat, I would be very interested in purchasing it. I need all 4. I do. The clothing aspect is something that I'm going to want to get into a little bit more as well.
See, there's some of the things that I let go in my sale. I had well, more stuff. I had press kits, beautiful press kits for like tug of war, press to play, and they were beautiful. And then I also had the t-shirts to go with them, tug of war, pretty little head t-shirt.
Oh fucking hell! I'm gonna be sick in my mouth.
I had them all, and I gave them away. Actually, I gave them to my friend. Oh, you know Simon or Roger.
He's one of them. Yeah.
One of them. I gave his kids. They were young. I gave them my t-shirts because they were into the Beatles.
Folks, I'm furious. I am absolutely livid. And on that note, I'm going to have to cut it there because I'm going to explode into a fit of rage. Knowing a Pretty Little Head t-shirt was given away. It was given away. Oh, don't worry, your pretty little head, folks. This has been the second episode of Macca in Your Attics. I've been Sam. My guest today has been Andrew Brookes. Peace and love. Peace and love. Let's go.
See you later, Sam.